Now, I've waited for a long time, slowly behind the scenes collecting a profile based on actions and habits from the show. The Boys is a huge chunk of media to unpack, and there's no shortage of channels posting about it, especially in today's day and age. There's always a compulsive need that makes us feel like we have to constantly try and keep up with the pace of society. It's always, if I don't catch this wave, or if I don't get on in this way, I won't be able to gain this traction, or I'll miss out on this. And it often becomes maddening, trying to fight against the tides of popularity while chasing your specific niche as a content creator. It is in the same tune we find the inspiration behind today's video, a quote from German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process he does not become a monster. And if you gaze long enough into an abyss, the abyss will gaze back into you. Often in life, we strive to accomplish our ambitions and goals, whether through tradition, trauma, or positive reinforcement. We seek out the resolutions once denied or dreams glossed over by others. And despite the lengths taken, many who gaze into the abyss turn away before it can gaze back. They know where to draw the metaphorical line. Today's video will be on the critically acclaimed Amazon Prime series, The Boys, and today's specific topic will be on Billy Butcher, the leader of The Boys. In the show The Boys, the traditional culture of superheroes is turned on its head, finally showing the opposite side of movies like Man of Steel or The Avengers, and the carnage on the surroundings and the resulting civilian casualties. In The Boys, superheroes don't truly care about people or saving the day. They care about ratings, contracts, social fame, marketing, and overall are a massive corporate shield that takes the name of Vought. Superheroes aren't trained or regulated. They're at most superpowered walking mental basket cases who have their own physical and often intense emotional baggage. In the first episode, we see the first real example of this as Billy shatters Huey's worldview, the same way his girlfriend's future was shattered. Sorry, Huey. After introducing Huey to the truth of the world, Butcher ignites a spark in Huey, a thirst for revenge and a promise for payback in its own twisted way. From here, we learn that Butcher is a man willing to do whatever it takes to accomplish his goals. His goal being revenge on Homelander for raping his wife, but seemingly expanding into an intense hate for Supes overall, which isn't hard to sympathize for, as the collateral damage superheroes leave behind is massive enough to cause AA-like meetings for their victims. In The Boys, we get a much larger showcase of the overall psychology of Billy Butcher, a man so determined to get what he wants done that violence is simply the first of his ways to get it. Countless times, Butcher either obsessed with his end goal or fearful of others' role in his plans, Billy will simply just become vile, almost downright spiteful, as if revealing he's never cared for the people around him. We've seen this in his treatment of Frenchie and Kimiko in Season 3, treating the two of them like attack dogs, even going as far as to tell Kimiko that. His relationship with Huey, while close, is twisted. Huey, who's funny enough always called his canary, is a reminder of Billy's younger brother who killed himself. Billy even telling him that he is the spitting image of his brother. Even his former life with Becca, now by extension her son Ryan, this being a special case as Becca told Butcher due to how he was, she went to Vault Tower versus him. She went to the people who glorified her own rapist over the man she loved because she knew how Butcher was in the lengths he'd go through. Because from her mouth, Billy was always one bad day away from caving someone's skull in. And with Ryan at the start of Season 3, Billy seems to be a pillar of love for the young child. Not before completely blaming Ryan for his mother's death, I believe because he didn't want Ryan attached to him the same way he never told Huey about the effects of Compound V they were taking, but knocked him out before he could take any more. And finally, with his second in command, Mother's Milk, MM is a character that shares Butcher's obsessive personality, the difference being that MM can and has to draw the line. He has a family, and hence he has something, if not everything, to lose. MM had a daughter, and already a wife he lost to Butcher's cause. Even in Season 3, we see MM doing his best to control himself around his daughter. Butcher constantly shifts leadership and damage control to MM, and even goes further in the latter episodes by constantly dicking MM around on the fate of Soulja Boy. Although, MM got his real good.
You ain't no hero. You just another racist piece of shit we can't seem to get rid of. This is for my family.
What makes Billy Butcher like this? Why is he so explosive, so prone to lash out even past his own or others' good? The use of V24 being an excellent example. Well, the answer is simple. Trauma. Well, not that simple. Sam Butcher raised his two sons, Billy and Lenny, on the principle of pain. He was cruel and abusive, maybe due to his own upbringing or trauma, but either way, he deserves the ass cancer he has now. He raised them thinking that the abuse would make them tough and that they would, quote, thank him later for it, often even calling Lenny, much like his mother, weak. Billy often took the brunt of his father's rage, pushing through the beating in order to save face and be strong for his younger brother. But Billy later left to join the British military, and Lenny being left at home with his father, well, Lenny's story ended tragically. This story climaxes when Billy is forced to confront his father, and even after Lenny's death, his father boasts with pride that Billy is a tougher bastard than he ever was, and he did his job as a father, that Lenny was soft and Billy was strong. And again, he deserves that ass cancer.
You're the one who abandoned him, not me.
You're a fucking monster.
This now explains everything, if not simply the behavior of Butcher. Some cunts need a good smack, as his father once said. Billy never shies away from death, whether seeing or causing it, and he constantly pushes forward no matter what or who he has to go through in order to get the job done. From the scorched earth tactic he quotes from using Temp V, which will kill him in order to kill Homelander, or constantly pushing every scenario to its end even despite innocent lives lost or involved. Excellent example for this being the constant supply of weed he supplied to the walking nuclear bomb that was Soulja Boy.
Man, stop playing with me. What? I'm the first nigga to do all type of shit.
Butcher, by the end of season 3, has become what he sought to destroy. A superpowered egomaniac hell-bent on achieving his goals. Just like Homelander, Butcher plays on the needs of people, masking his own trauma behind a single-minded goal that is also a call of action for those broken and afflicted like him. But the real question is, would Butcher stop after just Homelander? Would that level of rage and hate transfer over to any other figurehead of Vought? Butcher has always continued his crusade no matter who or what he is needed to take care of it. From killing Gunpowder with his superpowers to initially lying to Huey about the danger of Temp Compound V, drugging MM, or his blatant disregard for the collateral damage left behind by Dean Winchester, Soulja Boy. Butcher has become someone that wherever he goes, death and destruction follow suit. Not very different from Homelander. And I think it's interesting how he and Homelander's plight almost mirror each other, especially in the later seasons, and this is a view the boys does an excellent job on delivering for. Homelander and Butcher often have mirrored scenes or events of their development in the show. Further, the boys does an excellent job on depicting father relationships and childhood trauma. Even Soulja Boy stated that his father said that he was just a disappointment. Ultimately, even after getting superpowers and becoming the strongest man alive, his father still called him a cheater, a man not worth his name. And this is what Soulja Boy told Homelander, that he was him, a disappointment.
You're a fucking disappointment.
Weak. Here, we can draw a clear picture on the difference between Homelander's father figures and Butcher's. Dr. Vogelbaum, along with Stan Edgar, never approved of Homelander. Not even his own biological father, Soulja Boy, did. All of them delivering brutal final expositions to Homelander that will further torment him and his need to be loved and his massive inferiority complex. Butcher's father, on the other hand, reveled at the man that he had created. Despite the hell he laid down on his family, despite his own child's suicide, he still applauded Billy at the man he was. This might actually be worse than Homelander's case. Billy is constantly fighting against the man he was beaten to be, never being able to draw the line and seeing his own crusade as a sick form of punishment. Billy has become the monster, as he constantly lost and gave up parts of himself to achieve his goal no matter the cost. Far over the line, Butcher took and gave the hell of his father and gave it to others. Now at the end of season 3, we see young Ryan pushed into Homelander's arms, choosing Homelander because Butcher had sown another seed of hate in the world. And upon the final scene of season 3, we get a glimpse at the hell Billy has truly unleashed. Ryan's crooked smile is almost haunting. The first time the actor ever really made this face in the entire show, and it spoke volumes. Ryan is not afraid of the pain he can inflict any longer. This was a child that chose not to have a pet puppy because he was afraid of how easily he'd hurt it. Now he smiles in an almost sick way at the sight of his father eviscerating a person. And this is why Billy Butcher has become the monster. He has left a wake of trauma no different from his father, nor Homelander, nor Soulja Boy. These men, influenced by their ambition, the hate, were all shown going through great lengths, abuse, mass murder, lying, blackmail, and outright disregard for human life. And in the end, the monsters gaze at us and we gaze back at ourselves. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, guys, I'm hesitant to even engage in live action media because of its nature, but The Boys is a show that truly spoke volumes in its directing, casting, acting, and world building. I'll definitely cover more of the characters in the show, so feel free to leave a like and subscribe, or I'll have to tell Homeland that